guys, it's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. If you missed my announcement video, I'll go ahead and link it on the screen up here. I am one of the judges for the YA Booktube Awards this year. I will be judging both the fantasy category as well as the mystery thriller category. So recently the voting for round 2 closed. With that round of voting, we determined the top 3 nominees for each category. And so today I'm just going to be telling you what the nominees for my 2 categories are, because that determines the books that I have to read for the various live shows. So this is kind of like a YA Booktube Awards TBR, if you will. So first, let's talk about mystery and thriller, because I believe that is the live show that is happening first out of the 2 that I will be participating in. And I believe this live show is currently scheduled for February 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If it changes at all, I will definitely let you know. I would follow the YA Booktube Awards on Twitter. They will be announcing all the final dates and times for the live show. 3 nominees for this category are One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco, and There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. Now, an interesting story about the various books on this list. One of Us is Lying is a book that came out last year. Obviously, it's nominated in this category. Trina from Between Chapters read it. Now, I trust Trina's opinion on books immensely. Her and I have very similar reading tastes, so if she says something's not good, I tend to agree with her. She had read One of Us is Lying. She found that the representation of mental illness and sexual identity to be extremely problematic. It was used in a very careless way as a twist for the ending of the novels. I went to Goodreads, where Trina said that you could get more of her thoughts, and I read her review, which spoiled the book for me. So I know how this book is going to end. I had no intention of reading it because I don't want to support a book that uses such things as plot devices and as twists. Like, I just feel like that's so wrong. It's just really not okay. So I never intended to read this book, but of course, it was voted in as being one of the choices. I am now going to be reading a book, thriller, mystery, of which I know the ending. So I don't know really how I'm going to like this book. I'm very hesitant to read this and I really don't want to. As well as the second nomination for this category, which was Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. I started reading Stalking Jack the Ripper back in October for Spookathon, and I hate this book so much that I'm still reading it. I read 50% of the book in the print format, had to return to the library, checked it out on audio, had to start from the beginning because I could not remember what the hell I had read, even though I had literally just read it, got 61% through the audio, had to give it back to the library, and I just got the audiobook back, and I haven't finished it yet. I am so beyond bored with this book. It's a thriller mystery, and there's nothing thrilling or mysterious about it. It's so boring, and I hate Audrey Rose as the main character. She is insufferable. She's supposed to be this highly intellectual individual for her time, and this woman who is breaking social boundaries, but then she puts down every other woman who does not break the same boundaries that she does. How dare every other woman of the 1800s live what they were expected to at the time? Like, she puts everyone down for being a societal norm just because they're not interested in murder mystery, and going to school and going to college does not make them any less important than you. And I hate her so much. As an intellectual, she should know that belittling other women just because they don't have the same interest in you is not okay. I get very fired up because the fact that I have to continue reading this when I dislike it so much is infuriating. I should not have to read something that I hate so much, but it's the side effect of being a judge for something. So not only do I have to finish this book, but I also have to finish the god-awful sequel. I mean, I'm just assuming it's god-awful. I don't know, I haven't gotten that far yet. Hopefully I finish that one in one go and don't have to check it out in the library like 4 times. I don't understand how this is a mystery thriller. I could see it being nominated for a historical fiction. Mystery thriller, not so much. I think the second book has to do with Audrey Rose going to a medical school in Romania where she encounters Dracula in some way, so maybe that will be more interesting, who really knows, but I hate this book and I'm mad that I have to read it. And the final book that was nominated was There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, of which I have already read, and I actually really enjoyed this one. Out of the 3, this will probably be my pick. I'll be pushing this in the live show because I did really enjoy this. I liked the thriller aspect of it. I thought it was a great iteration of a slasher film in book form. It definitely played on so many of the stereotypes of the 1980s slasher films that made them the 1980s slasher films and that genre that we all know and love today. And I just felt like it was a great homage to that entire period of horror history in film. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's the one I'll be rooting for to win in the end. The other ones, I'm not too sure about. And as I mentioned, I am judging 2 categories, so the other one I am judging is fantasy. And again, as of right now, our live show is scheduled for February 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If anything changes for this date or time, I will definitely let you know on Twitter. So the 3 nominees for this category were Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna Maguire, and Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So let's start with the first one, Lord of Shadows. I've read this book. I hated this book. It'll be a great time because it was voted in as the #1 nominee for this category, and it was awful and so disappointing and let me down in every aspect of the sense of being let down by something. So I will be very interested to see myself argue this book with the other judges in the fantasy category, because I'm sure I will have different opinions from most of them, being how much this book is loved by everyone else in the community. So that'll be a fun thing to discuss and debate, right? The second one is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which I also don't want to read. I am so intimidated by this book and by Laini Taylor in general because she has such lyrical, descriptive writing. Her books are so focused on the characters, and those 2 things I struggle with immensely, especially when they're put together. So this book is gonna be a struggle fest. I just know it in my heart. I've been told by people who do like Laini Taylor's beautiful lyrical writing and characters that it was hard for even them to get into initially. So I don't have a lot of high hopes for this one. I also don't really know what it's about other than Laszlo Strange just trying to find the city of Weep, and Weep is a lost city. He's trying to get there. That's all I know. I am a simple girl. I like simple things. I don't like overly descriptive writing. It's one of my biggest bookish pet peeves. So this will be an interesting thing to tackle, and I'm very nervous about it. And the last book that is nominated for this category is Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna Maguire, which is the 2nd book in the Home for Wayward Children series, I believe is what it's called. The first book being Every Heart a Doorway, which I actually just got from the library. I just started it last night. I read 5 pages, so I don't have an opinion of it yet. I'm excited that this award show is forcing me to read this. This is like the one book that I have to read that I'm like really excited about, because people have been saying such wonderful things about the representation and about just how beautiful the writing is and just how wonderful like the story is and the commentary and all like the various characters from different backgrounds. So I'm very excited to read it. I know the first book has to do with portal fantasy and a boarding school and a murder. That's about all I know. I think I'm actually going to really enjoy it. So in conclusion, I will be reading from the thriller mystery category, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus and Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. And then from the fantasy category, I will be reading Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor and Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna Maguire. If you have read any of these books, I would love to know your opinions for them in the comments down below. And if you're planning to tune in to either of the live shows for any of the categories, I believe there are 9 categories this year, including LGBTQIA+, own voices, historical fiction, contemporary, science fiction, dystopian, mystery, thriller, I feel like I'm forgetting something, debut. There are so many categories, so many great people participating, so many great judges, and there'll be so many live shows. Definitely keep your eye out on the Twitter for all the latest information, as well as Elizabeth from the Owlery, who is organizing this entire thing. She has all of the secrets. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!